Hello. All right. All right. Hello there. Welcome, everyone. We are covering the Battleship. The Battleship is one of the most popular. It is the most popular class in the game. And I know that a bunch of people are always excited. It's also one of the rarest classes in the world at this point because they just don't exist. They cost too many resources. There's too much risk. Unfortunately, Yamato learned this lesson the hard way when she was sunk. And sister ships and all those sorts of things. Just a huge resource hog. But also incredibly exciting because it is also a resource hog. So, won't you join me in our fun play today as we just play as many battleships as I can get my hands on? And I think the only battleship I'm not allowed to play, isn't Kai broken? Something like that. Kai is broken, I think. But other than that, Kai, you know, I think I can play all of them on stream. Actually, I can't play the Aki. I don't think I play the Aki on stream. It's the Yamato with the hybrid. Although it does have some pretty cool aircraft. That's something. But yeah, the Battleship. I love this class. Who doesn't love this class? One of my all-time favorite, the Montana. Montana is the American battleship. The OG American battleship. This battleship has been in the game for a very long time. And it's been really awesome. I've enjoyed it. As you can see, extensive additions to the game. I mean, there's a huge amount of battleships. I think every faction, there's the European faction is going to get a battleship line. Can't wait to show off those on stream and talk about them. I mean, it's the most popular class for a reason. Everyone wants to play a battleship. Everyone at least tries to play the battleship. And yeah, I can't get enough of them. And I'm sure many of you are in the exact same boat. So speaking of boats, let's take out this beauty of a battleship. And let me talk about what I look for in playing my battleship. Obviously, most popular class in the game, so it's normally very saturated with the amount of battleships you will find in queue. You will almost always go against 3 to 4 battleships, and there might be even more. Now, the Pan American line is the one battleship line that I do not have at tier 10, and I'm actively working on it. So the Andes is the battleship, Los Andes, and it is a secondary battleship. Just because it's a secondary battleship doesn't mean it needs to be played purely as a secondary boat. I think there is this misconception that you have to go all in on a playstyle. Now, I am talking predominantly from random battle and ranked battles. That is my goal in choosing the weapons and the commander skills and how I play the game. If you're going from a co-op asymmetric operation, you can honestly play this as a full secondary ship and be just fine. It's really only in competitive gameplay that you need to really min-max how you play the line and ultimately play this ship. So, as you can see, I mounted recommended equipment. I pretty much dip into most of it, but the only exceptions that I do regularly on all my battleships, I always go aiming system mod 1. Now, I don't always have that equipped, but at this point in my understanding, 2025, every single battleship should equip aiming system mod 1 if they can in slot 1. Not every battleship can. Montana. In those examples, they will choose the equivalent because shell dispersion is such a huge part of the battleship. The better your accuracy grouping is, the more likely you'll hit their citadel and the more likely you'll knock them out. That's obviously the goal. You want to knock the enemy out. If you can't do that, well, what's the point? Everything else is pretty straightforward. Main armament mod 1. Whenever your main battery is incapacitated, you can't damage the opponent. Most battleships only come with main armament. They don't come with a torpedo system. They don't come with airstrike, for example. Although, I'm sure there'll be some way of creating a Dutch battleship line that will come with airstrikes in the future. But as of November 2025, there is no airstrike that can be used against other ships. You only can use airstrikes against submarines. The other ones aren't really as good. The action time of your your damage control party, assassination, assassins, Scott, thank you for that follow. The damage control party is already a long cooldown, because if you think about it, you activate it, the action time must occur, and then the cooldown. Then and only then can the cooldown start. So it's not 76 seconds. It's actually 98 seconds. So I'm not going to extend the duration of my damage control party. Yes, it provides immunity to dots effectively and incapacitations while it's active. But while it's active, I'm not bringing it off of cooldown again. So I want to cycle it, and I have to ignore damage control party mod 1. I wouldn't recommend it. I know it's there, and I know it has a big green star. Don't touch it. Auxiliary armament is kind of useless now since the survivability changes to AA and I believe secondary gun mounts, where they cannot be fully destroyed. They can only be taken offline for a short duration. Slot 2, damage control party. The only other one is engine room. Engine room is much better for smaller ships. These larger battleships like class, it's going to be primarily reducing flood and fire. Slot 3, as I said, aiming system mod 1, incredibly important on all battleships because your main armament is such a huge part of your damage output and therefore your ability to affect the match. You really cannot choose or afford to choose any other equipment in the slot. The American battleships and maybe another battleship line. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think, but I know for a fact American battleships do not have access to aiming system mod 1. In that example, I would probably go main battery mod 2. And the reason I say that is because battleship guns are notoriously slow at traversing. Gnome, thank you for that. Is it I'm a gnome? I'm a gnome pirate. I think that's what you're saying. I'm a gnome pirate. Hello, how you doing? Pirate. Okay, pirate. I'll call you pirate. But yeah, and those are special exceptions. Aiming system mod 1, you can't go wrong. It also, if you notice, it gives you a little bit of secondary range and dispersion. So this isn't a purely main battery. This is a kind of an aller, and it just happens to be the best main battery enhancement for battleships. So just take this. Don't think about it, just take it. Slot 4. Now, I diverge a lot from the norm. The norm would suggest Damage Control System Mod 2 because of the duration reduction in fire and flooding. Battleships usually have dots sit on their ship the longest of any of the classes in the game. Therefore, reducing the time that this is on the ship makes perfect sense, and I get that. But for me, I like to do incoming fire alert active dodging. And in order to do that, I need to have fast rudder shift. Rudder shift enables the change in direction at a greater rate so that if a ship fires their guns, then you can dodge and change the orientation of the ship to a more advantageous one. Airstrike Mod 1, this really only affects the anti-submarine, and I guess if you really hate submarines or you want to troll the crap out of them, go this, but it's not a legitimate choice if you want to be competitive. Slot 5, Concealment System Mod 1. There's really nothing else to go here. The dispersion of shells fired on you by the enemy is a huge defensive plus. You get the ship detectability range, which is a plus. Ship consumables, action time, okay. If it was better, maybe it could be competitive, but it's just not. It's just not as good as this one. Torpedo lookout system, while being nice, it's not every single target benefit like concealment. Slot 6, main battery mod 3. Pretty easy choice. The other one's just, you know, enhances the range of the guns, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be really hard for you to hit a target at range. The further out the target, the greater chance that they can actively affect the orientation of their ship, and it will then negatively impact your damage output. So going rate of fire, can't go wrong. Now, it does nerf your turret traverse, and that's where I would say if you have concerns, then you want to maybe investigate the commander skills and compensate. If you're an American, you don't really get to choose between this and the accuracy. Always go the accuracy, in my opinion. The rate of fire is okay, but accuracy is just king. Accuracy is just king. There's nothing better than accuracy. And then going over to the armament, normally high explosive, armor piercing, some form of depth charge airstrike. And then in this example, the Pan Americans, cool, hey cool, hey Dubog. In this example, this is the unique trait that the Pan Americans get. This enhances their secondary armament, and it gets charged up by your main battery and your potential damage. So both of the things that I am trying to enhance further than maybe the normal build, those are the two things that accelerate the active use of this combat instruction. So it's not really important that you go fully secondary, because the secondary aspect doesn't charge up your combat instruction. It's actually your main battery and your potential damage farming. So it's good to go my build, because it will make modified secondary munitions come off a cooldown faster or activate so that you can then use it on cooldown. Consumable damage control party, pretty straightforward. You want to use this pretty much when there's more than two things wrong with your ship, or two or more things wrong with your ship. You know, one flood, one fire, two fires, two flood, your rudder's knocked out, you know, you've pulled a Bismarck, you're stuck circling as an aircraft carrier is about to drop you, you know. This is really critical to maintaining good battleship control, defensiveness, reliability, consistency. This is, you really need to understand how to use damage control party to get the most out of it. And honestly, I make the most mistakes with this because I'm hyper aggressive when I shouldn't be. And then pretty much every single battleship will have repair party. Repair party is how you recover from dot damage, which is floods and fires, damage over time. This is important to recognize and understand and make use of as frequently as you can. Because look at it, you've only got 2 consumables. That's one of the strengths and weaknesses of the class. They're easy to approach, but there's a lot of room for mastering because you only have 2 options normally. Some of them have a third. Some of them get an aircraft that they can use as either a defensive fighter, or they can use an offensive spotting over island scout, so you can fire from that. Let's look at the battleship commander. This is the legendary commander for the Pan Americans. My day's going pretty good, cool. Hopefully your day's going well. The Pan Americans, again, they want to be good with secondaries. I believe his talent is enhancing secondary battery reload. Yes, it doesn't enhance my main battery reload, which is nice. This will activate once per battle upon hitting the enemy 175 times with a combined main battery, secondary battery shell. So this should, keyword should, activate at the midpoint of the game, mid to late game. You're not going to get the most out of this. I find that the talent that I will actually make more use of is Master and Commander. And this occurs after you have activated the combat instruction, which is the modified secondary armament thing, twice in a battle, which is very easy with my build. So this pretty much is active from the first 5 to 7 minutes on, and that gives me ship speed, and then it improves further my combat instruction progress. So it makes it happen faster, and it's more reliable. The other stuff that's just UI stuff that's just fun. Chaos. Hopefully you're doing good, Chaos kind. For the battleship, I am a strong believer in incoming fire alert. Now, incoming fire alert basically notifies me when someone is firing on my position. Not my friend next to me, not the submarine underneath me, when someone is firing at me. And I use that information to actively dodge. I think it's so beneficial. This will account for a huge amount of potential damage that I can gain, and it will work later on in my build, as you'll notice. We don't take preventive maintenance just yet, but as you can see, I do take it. Now, I diverge a lot from the norm. Most battleship commanders will probably go either grease the gears, brisk, priority target, and then for me, I go AA defense and anti-submarine warfare expert. The reason I go it is twofold. Obviously, it enhances my AA and my anti-submarine warfare. Hate submarines. Battleships, they're a mortal enemy of you, and they are hunting you all the time, so taking them out is important. But the automatically activating aspect of this. So for 2 points, anytime my AA is active, and I just want to reiterate that, anytime my AA guns are firing, my consumables have a 40% reload boost. So it will take them 40% less time to come off a cooldown. So let's say I just use my damage control party and the immunity phase is done. Now I have to wait 76 seconds for it to be active. If my AA is active, that 76 seconds drops down to something like 50 seconds. So we're talking about 26 seconds or so off of that ability, or 30 something in that ballpark. I know that the math is not accurate. I'm just trying to say an example. But regardless, anytime my AA is active, it is reducing or improving my reload cycle on my consumables, which will enable more use of consumables, which will synergize with this build. So for 2 points, I get 40% improvement, and the sources of AA activation in this game is extensive. What do I think of World of Warships on Xbox and PlayStation 5? It's an okay version of the game, but the PC is the superior platform for this game. I actually highly recommend playing this game. If you prefer a console or a controller experience, you should set up for your controller on Steam or something like that and just play it through that. I actually have gyro, which is like mouse accuracy, but controller, so you can sit on the couch and play this game set up, and it runs beautifully, and I will make a video on that at some point in the future. But yeah, easy 2 point for me. There are other ones, vigilance and inertial fuse if you're a secondary build, but I just think that this is a lot of value for 2 points. A brisk is also valuable for 2 points. Grease the gears again. If you're a Yamato or something, you have horrible turtles. Yeah, that's very valuable. For slot 3, now I am a secondary battleship, so I do go long range secondaries, but pretty much every single battleship in the game should take Adrenaline Rush at some point, because Adrenaline Rush enhances your reload, your airstrike armament, which is your anti-submarine, your secondary battery reload, my continuous AA. So a lot of enhancements are packed into this, and all I have to do is take damage. And for battleships, you will sit with damage taken the longest of any class, so Adrenaline Rush is the best skill for battleships. We'll come back to the other ones. Then I take Emergency Repair Expert, very good for battleship commanders. It enhances pretty much every consumable that's available to you, and why would you skip that? Other players or other recommendations include Concealment Expert, Ambushing. Unfortunately, when you're in combat, this is not helpful. Fire Prevention, which is a huge benefit for battleship commanders who are taking damage. This combines the superstructure fire into one location, and most of the time, that's where 2 fires will come from. So this prevents you from having 2 fires on your superstructure. They can still get a fire on their bow and still get a fire on your stern. But the 2 on the superstructure are the easiest to set as a surface ship, like a destroyer or a conqueror, So this will prevent that more so than others. So I believe strongly in this for the battleship because of the defensive aspect. Now, because I'm a secondary battleship, I do take long-range secondaries, but I also take a skill. Why not manual secondaries? I do not like how much manual secondaries require you to be in secondary gun range. Secondaries are a set it and forget it kind of thing. There is a manual secondary line in the game, but they are not battleships. So they will never get to use this skill in combination with manual secondaries. So it's really an automatic, and secondaries automatically aim at the hull, the citadel, basically. So if you're firing on an opposing battleship, you will have suboptimal secondary location. Ergo, if you were able to skillfully aim your main battery, you will be more effective inherently than your secondaries could ever hope to be by design. Therefore, I forego spending 4 points on this. It does enhance the reload and the dispersion of the secondaries, so it is fun for that in operations and asymmetrical, anything like that. Yeah, I would take this, no doubt. Oh, not even question it. But for a competitive play, it really leaves a lot to be desired. You don't want to always be in secondary gun range, and you will not get to do that. And any time that you're not in that range, it is not benefiting you in any way. There is no main battery component to this. It is 100% on your secondaries. I just don't like how little percentage of a game involves using or benefiting from the skill. So I forego it. I've done a lot of like little plates choices and stuff. I just don't like the way that this ends up working out. I would much rather have emergency repair expert and fire prevention, or all three of these over this, just for a purely beneficial. If I'm tankier, if I have better concealment, then I can last in the game for much longer and affect it longer. And that's one of the benefits of being a battleship with big juicy hit points. You can stay in the game the longest, ideally. Yeah, secondaries are really designed to deal with destroyers, lightly armored cruisers, like light cruisers, some heavy, sometimes submarines. It's hit or miss with submarines because, again, the location of the secondaries is predetermined by the game, so you don't get to locate your secondaries on different parts of the hull of the enemy. If that was a part of this, oh my god, it would be so good, because if I could select the location of my secondaries targeting, I would prefer that over any of the benefits here, because then I could put my secondaries on the superstructure, on the bow, on the stern, aim high, aim low, and that would be really fundamentally helpful to further enhance the damage output. But as it stands, they're just too auto-focused for my liking. Now, one of the skills that I really love is improved repair party readiness. And this is to further enhance the defensive aspect. I try to be the last battleship, survivor, and this enables that. If I tank 2 million potential damage, I get an extra repair party consumable. It also lowers the time that my repair party is on cooldown any time an enemy is firing on my ship with potential damage. So a lot of synergy with my builds. If I was a more traditional battleship like the Montana or Yamato, well, Yamato's kind of a bad example because of the turret traverse, but if I was a more traditional battleship, I might take focus fire training because it helps with the airstrike armament. So anti-submarine is a plus. It's really joyful to airstrike them so frequently. It protects me more from air. Air is a huge annoyance factor against the battleship, but it's honestly not that beneficial in the grand scheme of things. You could spend these 3 points on, more beneficial skills like brisk, grease the gears, gun feeder, and I take preventive maintenance to reduce the chance that modules will be incapacitated further enhancing my tankability. So I go tankiness, and more tankiness. I just feel strongly in the battleship's ability to tank damage. You are the de facto tank in this game. You should probably get comfortable tanking, because if you can apply it across all the battleships in the game. And every battleship excels at being one of the last ships in the match. So highly encourage that. 1 second. I gotta check one thing. IFA enables my active dodge ability that I do. What I do is, when I see IFA, and we're gonna play a game here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, Brucos. Leg's doing well. Randy, I got the thumbs up that I can walk on it. The hardware is holding. I have 13 screws and 3 or 4 plates. I'm Wolverine / Iron Man. So yeah, how dare you play the battleship role as intended? Yeah. I see a lot of the problem with the battleship is it is the longest range guns in the game, and they hit the hardest. So it's basically a sniper that's also the tankiest. It ends up bringing people over who don't necessarily value it for what it is actually capable of doing, which is tanking damage. A lot of people will play it as a long-range sniper. And I just feel like you can be so much more than a sniper. Of all the things that you want to be, a sniper is not what a battleship is. Yeah, you have the biggest guns and the greatest firepower and the heaviest broadside, but you just can be so much more than a sniper. And that's why I go tank. So IFA. So for IFA, it is active dodge. Whenever I see the icon flicker on my screen, I will active dodge. Whenever I active dodge, I drop my speed instantly and I adjust my rudder ship heading. Normally, I want to have it... I like to move inward versus outward. Outward gives a chance, if they aim high, it'll go into the hull. If I move towards the target a little bit, that will allow me to force the shells to hit the top of the ship, most likely, and it will hit my gun turrets. My gun turrets are specifically designed to absorb damage with my build. They have the most armor. It can be faced forward towards the enemy. You know, if this is kind of like playing World of Tanks and being hull down. If you can get your gun turrets to absorb the shot, it will fully absorb it, versus the side of your hull, which will either be an overpen penetration, or maybe even a citadel if you have an exotic citadel. So the most ideal location is obviously the drops in the water, but the second most ideal location for enemy shells is to land on your gun turrets, on the top of the gun, where the gun turrets pop out of the ship itself. Now, obviously, I ripple fire that. I do that because I'm not sure the angle of the enemy necessarily. It's not a given. We got a little bit unlucky. I maybe led the Scharnhorst just a little too much, but that's okay. My team was able to take a point, and we actually have a decent enough location. I'm going to try and fire on the enemy again. I use the dynamic crosshair, and dynamic crosshair is kind of a one-to-one with 30 knots. So most battleships at the high tiers go 30 knots or so to keep up with the fleet action, and therefore 9 seconds on my UI is 9 tick marks on my binoculars. So you can very, very accurately locate your shells. I don't want to like push into this guy. You very accurately locate your shells and affect the enemy. The enemy battleships are staying back, so I'm just going to fire on them. I'm not going to get a citadel on a Soviet battleship at this range. I'm just trying to get the most damage on the target. Okay, someone's firing on us, so instantly I drop my speed and then I change my heading, and that causes the shells to land either short or long. That's all I'm trying to do. A lot of times players, I find in the game, will play this game where they don't want to be the person being shot at, because then they have to actually do something. So they'll stay at their max range for whatever reason, like these guys, and they will refuse to take damage. I mean, that's a selfish world these guys are trying to live in. As the battleship player, I really disagree with that. I really think the battleship should be at least medium distance from the enemy. And if you're taking damage like the Scharnhorst, you really need to be in a position that you can help your team. I don't necessarily think I'm going to land that. I don't know why the... See, this is the German cruiser, the manual secondary. I'm sure there will be a manual secondary battleship line at some point in the future. The Pan Americans have great... Chris, thank you for the follow. Pan Americans have great... Yeah, the game should promote tanking more than it does. I agree. We're just going to take like kind of an over-the-shoulder shot at this guy, trying to discourage him from firing on my team. And we kind of miss him. But these cruisers are not built to tank damage. They are built to do damage, yes, but they are not battleships. Battleships have a different style of play because they actually can take damage, and that's really, really valuable when compared to some of these classes. Man, I just get so unlucky sometimes, and yeah. Big surprise! The cruiser is the first to die on the flank. Someone's firing on us, so we're gonna activate the rudder, angle in, and get some bounces and all that stuff. Happy with that, with the results there. Trying to just stay on this flank. I'm trying to be in a advantageous position. Savetsy is over there just hanging out. He's at like max range. He's annoying. Blucher is taking a lot of damage, but he's behind the island and I can't affect him. Fuzzy is too far forward. Fuzzy is way too far forward. Someone decided to fire on us from another side of the map, so of course we're gonna try our best. My secondaries can actually hit that guy, which I'm shocked by that. My team is dropping like flies, unfortunately, so we need to try and affect the match. Thank you for that follow, I appreciate it. Just have so many teammates that are just dying. Yeah, the team wanted to go to the port. Dang those teammates that love hanging out in the port. Those port jockeys. Oh, he's so low. I'm okay with that as long as I can get Sir Spot. No! Oh, he's still alive. He's still there. He's healing. He's healing. Notice that the incoming fire alert enables me to be able to dodge without having any real knowledge of what's incoming. It's just literally a active dodge maneuver where I decide to change my ship's heading and direction, heading and speed, without necessarily knowing what's happening behind me. So, you know, there's an advantage to that, having that automatic aspect that I appreciate. And gosh, my team is just wanting to die so fast in this game. I'm trying to affect parts of the map. I mean, if I look, I'm not focusing on other things. Of course you can look, but isn't it nice to be able to do two things at once without having any investment? Like, obviously I can look. It's kind of like blind spot monitoring for your car, or having a mirror for your car. Sure, you could rely on looking in your mirror, but isn't it nice if it just automatically does it for you so you can do other things? That's pretty much what it's doing. God, there's so many problems in this game. We're just in a really bad situation here. So much of my team died so early.
Problem solved, sir.
That should be a kill.
The enemy is about to win. Battleship sunk. The enemy is about to win. Enemy cruiser detected. Enemy destroyer detected.
Excellent, excellent. My favorite battleship line? Oh, I love the American battleships. Just too much to overcome. If we could have gotten that kill on the Fletcher, maybe could have moved it forward. Sorry, I pressed it before I wanted to go. Just a frustrating game because we lost so many players early on. But enemy did a really good job of maintaining really strong angles, and my team did a really bad job of reducing damage taken. So ultimately, they just died too soon before affecting the match in a positive way. I would like to get my first one of the day, so I kind of want to just play this one more time. As my UI. I feel like if I fired more high explosive against the Soviet battleship, it would have played better for us. I think one of my biggest problems is I fire a lot of AP against all the targets, hoping that they'll just make a mistake and show a broadside. Let me run an ad, by the way. I need to get in the habit of doing that. Now, yeah, the cats are doing pretty good. You always spill your water. Always spill your water.
Action stations.
Yeah, I don't feel the same way. I feel like secondaries are a really overrated unit. Especially for competitive. Maybe for co-op and operations and all those sort of things where the target is a bot or something. But against an actual player, no. It's just less effective than a main battery strategy. Hey, sweetheart. Yeah, you're cute. I mean, his manual secondaries weren't doing any work. I play all of them. I play every single battleship. Yeah, I don't like manual secondary. I think it's overrated. It's just too expensive for the value that it gives. It'd be better to go the 3 defensive skills than go manual secondary. Hey, baby. You standing on my head?
Enemy force sighted on the horizon. ship is on fire.
Where are these shells going? I fire at this guy, and he's like totally broadside, and somehow I don't hit what I need to hit. Like, what the heck?
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Kitakaze killed their DD already? He's sitting in their cap? Wow, okay. Okay. Thank you for that follow, Spud. I appreciate it. Okay, so the enemy Kitakaze. Oh, friendly Kitakaze. Is that a second kill? Yeah, it's a second kill. Wow. Then we got the Iowa over here, Donskoy. We need to keep the enemy distracted.
Enemy battleship detected. Enemy cruiser detected. Our team has taken the lead.
Hello, Mr. Alex. Okay, I think the Iowa's gonna retreat.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
I'm gonna hide behind the island. I'm just gonna keep backing up. Kitakaze's over there. We popped his smoke. He would love to affect me with his torpedoes. He can't affect me if I'm in island cover, though.
Torpedoes to port.
Yeah, exactly. If I were to sail forward, I would have taken these torpedoes. But as long as I'm using island cover... Oh, he's so low. Alright, so he is dead. That's good. Yeah, the old stock hulls. I mean, it would be nice for them to be back in the game in some way. I was gonna fire on us. Kitakaze's firing from smoke.
Astern.
Send torpedoes this way. Good. Okay. Happy with that. We'll work on Donskoy if we can. No, he's going into island cover. I think we're gonna hit the super. Crossfiring is an important aspect of battleships too because of how tanky they can be. If the lion goes out to the left side and I go to the right side, then you leave vulnerable players like the Donskoy. He has to choose between a rock and a hard place, so it's really a lose-lose situation for him. Hopefully my secondaries can kill him so I don't have to unload. Yeah, there we go.
Victory is in sight. Enemy cruiser foundered.
Pop his citadel, pop it, pop it, pop it. Just fell a little short. Obviously, I don't want to let the Kitakaze affect me. I want to try and continuously keep the Iowa back. Most likely the Kitakaze will have sent torpedoes my way, so I need to change my direction.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Alright, cool. I think the game went decently. I don't think we were anywhere near the top, but we were able to stay alive and affect it. Yeah. I guess it was a pretty one-sided game. Okay, so we got our first win in that ship. Pan Americans, really great secondary battleships. Obviously, you can play it that way, but I just wouldn't. I wouldn't go all in on secondaries. I just think that that's too vulnerable to being exploited by distance, which a lot of players are trying to be at in this era. They're really, really, really trying to stay back. Now, the Montana, one of the OGs of the OGs. I love this ship. I always have, and I've only enjoyed it more as the game has existed. It is one of those battleships that has that unique slot 6 option. It is very obviously the better option between the two. This and Rate of Fire. you just can't beat main gun accuracy. Now, because I have a slot 6 main gun accuracy, I don't have a slot 4. I do have a unique skill for American battleships that enhances the main battery gun range, but it's not very valuable, and having faster turret traverse is beneficial when you're not having to take gun accuracy, which the Americans don't have to. And therefore, that's what I take. I also take the unique upgrade. Now, the unique upgrade is a slot 5. Concealment System Mod 1 is more than fine. It's kind of a side grade compared to the unique upgrade. But the unique upgrade for the Montana allows for very fast rudder shift and very fast steering gear repair party time. Fire extinguishing time in flood is also enhanced. So you could potentially go like super uber anti-dot build, where you take this, you take damage control system mod 2. Is there another dot that you could take? No, but you can also take the commander skill. Where's the commander skill one? This one, right? Basic survivability. So you can stack those 3 abilities, plus there is anti-fire in the flood and fire signals. So you have your unique upgrade, you have your slot 4, you have your signals, and then you also have a commander skill that all protects you from fire and flooding. So you can really easily envision a scenario where you basically have fires by default last on your ship like 20 seconds or something like that. A crazy buff to that. I don't feel like that's as valuable as the alternative, so I don't go that, but it's a fun, you know, it could be a funny build that you might play at some point in the future. The Montana has the ability to select between a spotting aircraft and a fighter. The fighter is for anti-aircraft, and then the spotting aircraft enhances the range of your guns and also gives you the option, if you press C, you can cycle between 2 views. The default or over-the-shoulder kind of view, which helps you fire over islands more easily and effectively. I really like the spotting aircraft versus the fighter. I don't think they've enhanced the fighter well enough to work, so I kind of avoid that. It's supposed to defend your ship from aircraft, but it pretty much always gets an aircraft attack before the fighter engages, so that's just annoying. That ends up feeling like, meh, useless, exactly. One of my suggestions was, what if the fighter, when you activate it, just gave you a flat damage reduction to incoming aircraft damage, whether it be the airstrike of the Dutch or aircraft carrier squadrons. That way, at least the fighter would have an instant activation benefit versus hoping and praying that the circling fighter will attack the incoming aircraft squadron before they get a drop-off. I just think it ends up feeling really hollow and useless, so I don't ever take it. The Montana also has a really strong repair party. Not the best, but a very strong one. So I don't know how much synergy there is between discouraging dot damage but also being able to heal dot damage really well. That's why I go like a more active maneuvering. The rudder's pretty difficult in the Montana inherently, so enhancing that's good. We're going to run an ad and then we'll get in this match. Now, the American battleships have among the highest AP damage in the game per shell caliber size. The Americans don't get a big giant gun, except maybe on the Ohio. So your 406 won't have as much penetration force as maybe the Yamato, but its AP damage will basically be equivalent to the Yamato, which is a shell that has like 54 more millimeters attached to it or something like that, or 44 more millimeters. So you have a really heavy AP broadside, which is really nice in a lot of scenarios. Now, they have one of the slowest gun velocities in the game, and this is supposed to mirror the American battleships, like consistency, reliability. The Americans were known for having their guns stay online longer than the other battleships, because the other battleships foregoed the ability for the guns to fire frequently for gun velocity, and that's kind of communicated in this game with other battleship lines having really high gun velocity. The high explosive shell has a much higher gun velocity than the armor piercing shell, so you would want to switch more actively with the Americans. It's supposed to be like the reliability trait that the Americans had. Now, the reason the Americans had more reliable guns is quite simply they had to go the furthest away from their ports because they were out in the Pacific doing things, and they couldn't return home as frequently. They weren't in a defensive position. I think, in reality, if they were in a defensive position, they might increase the... Wow, that was a really good citadel from someone. They might increase the shell velocity because they can go back and repair the guns more frequently. But because they were off far away from home, they were more conservative with their shell velocity inherently, and I think that's what the game's trying to communicate. I'm not certain if that comes across in the game. Okay, so we have more shells incoming, so we're just gonna avoid these this time instead of talking about shell velocity and all that stuff. You know, the Germans have more shell velocity, the Italians have more shell velocity, the Soviets have more shell velocity, and that's because they feel like they would not have to return to their ports because they're literally fighting from their ports. So just a different tactical choice. Dodge. A different tactical choice. We want to be very careful around the Yueyang. The Yueyang is very strong against battleships.
Torpedoes to starboard.
I don't want to switch to high explosive just because there's a lot of DDs here.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Yep, here comes some torpedoes. Very aggressive play by players. Hey, sweetheart. Yeah, there we go. High explosive, you really want to use high explosive against DDs, as the Americans. Obviously, you don't have to, but the higher gun velocity is valuable in that matchup. Oh great, there's a submarine in the center of the map. Just what I always wanted. I love playing against submarines. They're so fun to play. The high explosive works really well against the subs, so, you know, if I get a chance and he's on the surface, I'm gonna slap him. Man. I feel like every single shot has been either too high or too low, and it's frustrating as hell. Take a look. I was firing on us. Pomeran's firing on us. They don't know where that submarine is located. Okay. I'll take a 10,000. That's decent. GK. Okay, GK.
Teammate, I need your support.
Huh. Yeah, that was good. Pomeran looks like he's probably aimed high. Yep. Iowa, stop picking on us. Looks like the submarine's over here, somewhere in front of my ship.
Enemy battleship sighted.
I think we're gonna switch to high explosive, not only for the Pommern, but I also want to deal with the Gato. I think the Gato is over here somewhere. My cat's running around being all silly.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Yeah, he's over here.
Torpedoes to port.
Awaiting instructions.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, dead ahead. Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly. Torpedoes to port.
This is not an ideal scenario that we find ourselves in, dealing with the Gato.
All stations, proceed to capture that area. Awaiting instructions.
Maybe you shouldn't have spilled your water. Okay, so the Gato went down.
Main turret critically damaged.
I need intelligence data.
Torpedoes, astern. Torpedoes astern. Torpedoes astern. Torpedoes astern.
Awaiting instructions.
You're being silly?
Airborne.
The enemy is about to win.
Awaiting instructions. Airborne. Awaiting instructions. Airborne.
The cat's very young.
Torpedoes astern.
I think she's like 6 months. Ooh!
Awaiting instructions.
He just like jumped on my chair like I was crazy. Yeah, she's like a kitten. What are you doing? You crazy kitty?
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Yeah, exactly, guard. It was, my team tried desperately to lose that match. But it was a good comeback. Or I guess a good recovery. Hard to say.
Enemy cruiser detected.
I feel like the DDs just didn't give a shit about my team. Like they could have easily dealt with the sub. Nah. Don't need to deal with him. He's only the best player on the enemy team. Don't need to deal with the sub. Very annoying that the submarine was just allowed to exist in the back line. Easily could have been handled. Let's play the Yamato. Yamato's the other... Well, let's not play the Yamato as the Borg ship. The Yamato is one of the original battleships that was in this game from the beginning. Yamato is obviously legendary for being a giant battleship and one that is very scary. Now, as the Yamato, you can play it a couple ways, but I use my Yamamoto. Yeah, legendary for being a coral weave. Yamamoto has been power crept a lot, but it's still nice to have. It has, Yamamoto has greased the gears, which is a huge benefit for Yamato. And then also preventive maintenance. Again, a very nice trait for a battleship to tank damage. I take pretty much all the other skills, and I forego taking focus fire training because it's the less valuable of the two anti-air, and I spend those points elsewhere. Now, I could go for, gun feeder, but I think that just enhancing the cooldown rate is a little bit more valuable on Yamato. Is that true in all scenarios? No, no. I also have the unique upgrade. Now, the unique upgrade makes the shell dispersion better, but it has the same turret traverse penalty. So you either choose accuracy or rate of fire. It is a little bit more of a side grade scenario here for the Yamato, but I still believe strongly in accuracy. Plus, you can couple this accuracy with slot 3 accuracy, unlike the Americans, and you can have a pretty accurate battleship overall. And that's one of the traits of the Japanese, is they have very accurate guns over range. And that's what you hope to do. Your turret traverse is horrendous, so you want to keep everyone on one side of your ship. One of the other things that is problematic, everyone knows this weakness at this point, your cheeks. Your big juicy cheeks. If enemies aim their shells right here, they will bust through your citadel, and they will laugh at you as they get to pin even less armor. So you got to protect your cheeks. Protect the cheeks. It's a very common, well-known weak point. It's probably the #1 reason why Yamato's not played very much. Because they've just surpassed it. Yamato really needs to be at the back of the map. This is the closest battleship to a sniper in the game, in my opinion. And yeah, it's just the way it is. And the Brits, yeah, the turret traverse is horrible on Japan. I'm gonna run an ad break, and then we'll hopefully get into this match. The big plus is Yamato had overmatch on 32 millimeters with AP. So a bow-in battleship is very vulnerable to Yamato. They won't go bow-in against you. They most likely will sail away from you, and they'll actively dodge. That's at least my understanding of what they try and do. Okay, so at least none of the enemy battleships have overmatch on me, so I do have an advantage there. I can go toe-to-toe against every single one of the enemy battleships, and they cannot penetrate my hull the same way that I can them. Yeah, but it's... I don't know if that's as one-to-one as this. I'm not sure that it increases like that. I thought when you extended your gun range, it maintained the accuracy curve. Oh, so you would have the same accuracy at all ranges. I didn't think that it enhanced your accuracy at the equivalent ranges, but I could be wrong.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
Alright, that's cool, Zorn. We can try that then. I'm always for more accuracy. I like accuracy. Do we really have a submarine over there? I think we do. Yeah, and then the French battleships, you can fire right under the main guns, and the penetration force will bust through the citadel of the gun turret. Oh man, this is sweet, sweet damage, baby. Oh, just need a little bit more lead. But look at these turrets. This is why they've been power crept. Look at how slow these suckers move. And I believe I have all of the speed enhancements that I could take, other than I would give up the accuracy in slot 3, which, I mean, the whole point of this is to be accurate, so yeah, you don't really want to do that. Yeah, they're very slow, but very accurate. Please stay inside my shells so I can pin you. Okay. GK's taking archer fish shells. Schlieffen, see the Schlieffen? Secondary builds not really helping here. Not reach him. Montana's firing on us, turning away, slowing down, hoping that he'll miss. Okay. GK should die. GK should be dead. Okay, we're gonna go on Montana. Yamato is a battleship killer. It is specifically designed to play against battleships, so it's obviously true that you want to fire against enemy battleships more than any other target because of that. Like, for example, I would say Montana is better than Yamato, but in this matchup, Yamato is better than Montana because of the way Montana's armor works. It's just, he's got a lot of soft armor for the Yamato to punch through. Hey, sweetheart. But I do think Montana is a better ship than Yamato. It just, the matchup just doesn't work out very well for these big battleships that have softer outer armor. Hey, baby. Hopefully my shells reach the target. Yeah, there we go.
I need intelligence data.
I think Colombo is stopping. Well, he's gonna take a lot of damage from my teammates, so that's fine. Yeah, it means I'm not doing damage, but if it means he's gonna settle and take damage, then I'm fine forcing him to... Oh, enemy submarine, do I have... Oh, I almost have range. Wherever he goes, will attack.
Enemy destroyer detected.
Okay. The Bungo is the alt Japanese. It has faster turret traverse, and it has a unique scout aircraft, spotting aircraft, that gives accuracy over range. Otherwise, it doesn't have quite the same punching power. But yeah, I would say the Yamato is the most sniper-like battleship in the game. It really does not want to be forward because of the turret traverse. It wants to be firing its guns on cooldown at enemy battleships, but it just doesn't feel comfortable doing anything other than that. I think Bungo's gonna turn in on this. Unless the shells drop. Yeah, okay. Well, one hit the gun. Didn't do much damage. Hey, baby. Meanwhile, that number 3 gun turret is taking its sweet time traversing. I would say the Yamato wants to sail, 20 kilometers from the next closest battleship. And it wants to fire on cooldown. I guess the hull is in my way, even though graphically it is not. That's confusing. GK was low, but I guess he recovered. Yeah, he did. Bungo. Bungo! Okay. I want to fire my gun. Annoyed that I cannot fire my gun. Sure, Bungo will fire at us. So we're gonna angle away. Good job, Bungo.
The ship is on fire.
Slow turret traverse. Slow.
Enemy battleship foundered.
You just gotta be firing your gun the whole time, which is hard because you obviously have really slow turret traverse, so you just have to have good awareness on where your next targets with the highest probability of landing on them. And you have to be firing at 20 kilometers. Like, you just have to be comfortable doing that. Great.
Destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Whoever's over at A is capturing it. I can't really do anything because I don't have good information. But that's okay. We will affect this man. No, we won't. Looks like Richtofen is settling behind smoke, but I don't know that we'll hit him. Okay, we got a little bit of damage. Note the ricochets. You know, you would say, oh, well, long-range accuracy. Good against aircraft carriers. No, it cannot penetrate the armored decks of carriers, so it's really not ideal. And then, of course, we're going to get this guy over here. Just hoping the shells will land on him. Nope. Yeah, I mean, the CV's not that dangerous. I have 58% torpedo protection, so I'm not vulnerable to that. If he sends air towards me, I have faster cooldown cycle on my heals and stuff. So, yeah, they got the Columbo, that's good. Don't know where the submarine is, but I'm just sailing away from him. I'm surprised my aircraft carrier is going after the aircraft carrier.
Repel air attack.
I always envision like the Yamato is like, it's like it's a basketball player that always keeps his arm extended so he has space between whatever he has to deal with. He wants to just keep his distance. He wants to stay as far back as he can and reliably affect the target. Oh gosh, the Daring's in a really tough spot. 2Ds just popped up in front of him.
Our victory is in sight.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Jesus.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
I mean, even if it hits me, it's not going to do any damage.
We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
We're just going to stay right on top of him.
Problem solved, sir.
Hopefully my turrets can keep up with this weird movement. Oh my god, give me high explosive. This will do no damage.
Torpedoes, direct.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. Hey, sweetheart. Yeah, we did an excellent job. I mean, that's literally a textbook Yamato game. That's exactly how you play the Yamato. You take out every single battleship you can get your hands on, and you stay back. So that they have... So it's harder for their shot than it would be for you to shoot at them. That's what the Yamato wants. And we're going to do this plotting room thing and see if it's a noticeable improvement for accuracy. But yeah, the Yamato bread and butter is just to pick on other battleships and let everyone else deal with everything else. I'm gonna run an ad break. Thank you again for tuning in. We're just checking out battleships and talking about how to play them. Super enjoyable part of the game for me. Hopefully you guys enjoy battleships as well. in that submarine matchup, you want to close the distance in that 3 kilometer range. Submarines are pretty much garbage in that scenario now that they nerf them into the ground, so that's where you need to exploit them if you're a battleship. Would you like some water? Yeah, Zorn, I agree. The GK Preußen, it's their armor that's their advantage. Especially now that better secondary ships have been introduced in the game. I'm so old, I remember when the Yamato was the best secondary battleship in the game. That obviously lasted for like a couple patches, but for a moment it had the extra range, and I think the 155s had AP as well, so they actually did pretty decent damage. Wargaming made a change and made all secondaries high explosive, and then you have rule breakers like the SAP ones, but other than the SAP ones, they all fire high explosive. Whoop. What'd you do? What'd you do? You just run up and slam your body on me? Jump on my tummy? Yeah, that's what you did, didn't you? That's what I saw.
Let's give them a hard time.
I really want someone to fire at me, so I do like showing my side at this range, just so I can see incoming fire alert occur. That way we can actually like start firing on things. Looks like he's gonna pull back. Okay, Nevsky turned away. Rhode Island's firing high explosive on cooldown. Seems like he's just stopped moving. I'm gonna ripple fire this. I'm gonna switch to high explosive. Just because there's some DDs that need to be affected. Ooh, we did 15,000 on Rhode Island. That's nice. If Trump shows themselves, I will fire high explosive at him. Hello.
Enemy submarine in sight.
Oh. Trump is definitely close.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes direct front. Concentrate fire on the designated target. The ship is on fire. Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Minotaur!
All stations,
Minotaur!
fire on the designated
You're gonna have to pay more attention than that, Minotaur.
warship.
The enemy team is taking the lead.
That's how it's done. Problem solved, sir. The ship is on fire. That was a great battle.
Enemy battleship sighted.
I am just so confused how the Trump's squadron is getting anywhere near me.
The ship is on fire.
With a Minotaur here. And a Rhode Island and me. Alexander Nevsky's firing a lot of shells.
Enemy destroyer detected.
What are you doing, Rhode Island? Why are you pushing forward so aggressively?
The enemy is about to win.
And my team. We just made the ultimate sin of dying. DD's died in droves.
Enemy cruiser sighted. Enemy battleship sighted.
Spotter returning to ship.
I need intelligence data. Enemy
Yeah, I mean, I think the accuracy is working. Alexander Nevsky is trying so hard to damage us. It's very funny. Minotaur was able to dodge. Well played, Minotaur. Hey, cutie. Crimson, thank you for that follow. I appreciate it, Crimson. I think considering the scenario that we face, I think we did a really great job in this game. Obviously, we're not going to win the game, and it's a completely one-sided stomp fest, but we did pretty decent. We're almost up to 4 million potential damage. That's good. That's good. Hey, baby. Hey. How are you doing? I felt like that was a pretty good game. From my point of view, I was able to do lots of damage and stay alive under a lot of enemy ships. It's pretty much what you want your battleship to do. I do think that the accuracy is there. So, I'm happy about that. Thank you. Because he needs to land his bombs. Yeah, to do the damage. Because it's really, isn't it a tight little accuracy thing? We're gonna say, we're gonna bring out one of the more powerful tier 10s now that they've made enhancements to it. And as you can imagine, what's the enhancement that everyone loves? Main battery shell dispersion. Aim system mod 1, and then the unique upgrade is more main battery shell dispersion. They also come equipped with exhaust smoke and sap. So sap is really good at doing damage to any part of the ship that isn't over angled and less than 96 millimeters. Sap is incredibly broken against a submarine, for example. So yeah, and also the Italian battleships get a built-in gun feeder passive, and that built-in gun feeder passive allows for shell switching mid-reload. Other than that, and exhaust smoke, there's nothing spectacularly unique about this line, but all of that combo together makes it pretty scary in its damage output. We're gonna run an ad break, and we'll be right back. Thank you everyone for hanging out. You doing okay, sweetheart? Oh, you're gonna get me.
Action stations.
Thank you.
Roger.
Awaiting instructions.
For the Italian battleships, they have, especially the Tier 10, it has 360 gun turrets on the rear two turrets. So it wants to, like, kind of snake pushing forward towards the target, and it can always have all 16 guns facing forward. Zorn, that is weird. Is that a clue that they want to convert them, or is that a clue that they don't care? That is a really weird choice. I agree.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
Hello, baby.
Roger.
That is weird.
Roger. Affirmative. Affirmative. Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, direct front. Enemy destroyer sighted. Enemy battleship sighted. Enemy destroyer detected. Enemy cruiser sighted. All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
Hey, baby.
Smoke generator started. Torpedoes, dead ahead. Torpedoes, direct front. Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly. Enemy battleship detected. Enemy destroyer sighted. Problem solved, sir. All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
Enemy heavily damaged.
Smoke screen set. Enemy cruiser detected. Enemy battleship detected.
Yep, that's a screen. Yep, that's a screen with cursor movement. Yep, I see you. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Enemy cruiser detected.
I guess we already got the super. We got the most health we can possibly have. That's pretty funny.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Good morning, General Cartman. Good morning, good morning.
Our team is taking the lead.
Oh, Jesus.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Okay, he sent 2 sets. Ooh! Marseille. Brutal execution by Marseille.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
And the torpedoes don't even hit. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, baby.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
That should be a kill.
Sighted.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
Okay, we got a Napoli in here. Hey, baby. You okay? Come here. You're falling down. You're falling down. Yeah, I don't want you falling down. You're too cute. Okay. We're going after Napoli. Obviously Napoli's sailing this way. So, yeah. There you are.
Enemy heavily damaged.
Yeah, he's dead.
Our victory is in sight.
He's dead, Jem. Yeah, he was gonna be dead. What did someone say? Why the F were you spot in the first place? With 100% accuracy, you know I have a 6-armor hydro. Why would you get 6 kilometers away from me, then blame the game? STFU. Oh. I see, he used the F word. The big F word. No, Mecklenburg! I want to kill the enemy CC. Too bad we can't, like, super buff our health. Just keep buffing it up over and over and over and over and over. Because we've grabbed, like, every health buff in this match as a team. Whoop. I'll let him sail through. All right. Pretty accurate guns with this build. Obviously, it's notoriously strong right now with this build. And it shows. It has a lot of damage per minute with the guns. So, our team did a great job. Hey, the cruisers. Well played, guys. Well played. The cruisers did a great job on our team. But, yeah, Montana. We did 65,000 damage against them. Did you spill it again? Children. Do we really need children? Are children necessary for life? I don't know about that. This cat just spilled all her water. Like, ruthlessly spilled it on the ground. A Wisconsin game? Yeah, Wisconsin. We can play Wisconsin. I actually have not played in the Wisconsin yet. I don't think that I was spilling my water on the ground and then looking at me like, where's my water? Why haven't you given me water yet? Meanwhile, I'm over here cursing this cat, going, you son of a bitch. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here with your weirdness. Get out of here. You spilled your water. Why would you spill your water? Yeah, why would you spill your water? Hmm? Get out of here. Get out of here with your wet paws and your dry mouth. Yeah, that's what you deserve. You know, I think I'm gonna go with Gunfeeder. Yep, revolt with the water fountain. Okay, so the Wisconsin is just like an uber buffed Iowa, right? Oh, it's got an immediate system reload. Oh my god, what is this? I have no idea. Obviously, Wisconsin, Tier 10 Iowa, Iowa class battleship with a combat instruction. Upon activating, it will improve your main battery reload by 50%. The consumable preparation and reload time also is improved. Ooh. All I have to do is hit the enemy with my shells. Okay. Well, it's not the easiest combat instruction to activate, but it is a really good combat instruction, so we will work on that one. Yeah, that funny button's cool. We're going to run an ad, and then we'll be back for the match. I'm excited to take this out. I have not played it at all. Ooh, it's an aircraft carrier match too. That's good. Just lick it. Lick it. No. Just lick it. cool they made the Wisconsin though. I've actually seen the Wisconsin in Norfolk. I didn't get on the ship because I didn't have time to get on it. I was there for something unrelated to warships. But it's literally right there. Like, it's crazy how in the city center the Wisconsin really is.
Enemy force detected.
Okay, so you say it has good gun accuracy. Let's see the gun accuracy. Someone wants... Man, it has really great concealment. Wow. For not enhancing it with the concealment skill, got really good. Really love the Iowa class battleship. I'm glad they made... This is what I think they should do. They should really make like a tier 9. Make the tier 9 a tier 10 with like, you know, unique rule set that makes it feel like it's not outclassed, you know? Because obviously the Iowa class battleships, there was no Montana, so like for America, that's our top battleship that you can visit today. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Good morning, IP. And I do like how slim it is, honestly, compared to the Montana. The Montana's a little thick, little thicker. What map am I on? Faroe Islands. Don't really know that I've played this as much as I wish. As a fast cooldown? Oh, okay, so yeah, they did that fast cooldown, okay. Man, you really have to be firing on cooldown.
Torpedoes to port. Ship is on fire.
Napoli's firing on us. It's okay. Please give me a target. I would love a target. Any target. Desperate for a target. Oh, I can't really hit that. We'll just take a shot anyway. Clip him! Clip him! Nope. No! No! It's much harder to keep this combat instruction up than for the Pan Americans. Maybe they learned their lesson. Yeah, he's pretty good on this. Not gonna lie.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Oh, this came out before the Pan American. Okay. Come on, land the shells. Keep the combat up. I just want to have it stored up just a little bit. Okay, Vladivostok's over there.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Come on, come on, come on.
All stations.
Get the
reporting
Fletchy.
the position of a
Oh, he
strategic
fired his
target.
guns. He fired his guns. Okay, okay, okay. Come on, land this so I can keep my action. Yes. Oh, we got 2 fire set? Oh, it forced him to use damage control. Alright, we should be able to get our activation on now. There we go. Okay, so when I activate this, my main battery reload is like the French. Okay, that's cool. Should die. They really gonna miss him? Wow, they really missed him. Fletcher should have him. Alright, cool.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Destroyer sighted.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert.
Really want that 2 million potential damage. Just need to weather this storm as they're pushing forward. If we can survive it, we should be able to win. Just need to go after enemy Massachusetts. Hey, sweetheart. Really hopeful that I can clip him. Yeah, that was good.
Spotter returning to ship.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Our team has taken the lead.
Damn. They're very close to dying there. Okay, though. You okay, sweetie? I love you, baby. Did you spill your water again? Oh, you're such a little girl. Nice, nice, nice.
Spotter returning to ship. Our victory is in sight.
And this combat instruction's pretty dope, not gonna lie.
Enemy battleship detected.
Moving forward now. Nice, nice. Well played, well played. Very nice, Wisconsin. Very nice. Oh, desert, that sucks. It always sucks to visit a ship or whatever and them being closed for like maintenance or whatever. Nice, we were top on the team too. Excellent. Excellent. So we received 152,000 damage, and it only has 85,000 hit points, right? Something like that. Yeah. Hey, baby. Here. Very fun. Very fun ship. Very cool. Glad they made it. It's only... Yeah, I don't know how you get it. Yeah, the shells, yeah, the more times, yeah, it's very nice. Very nice. It's cool. What are you doing? What are you doing, you weirdo? You're trying to, like, kill me? Trying to grab me? Hmm? Trying to take me down? Hmm? Is that what you're trying to do, kid? Oh, nice. Research Bureau points. I'll take that. Always valuable. Hey, what are you doing? Hey. Hey, baby. you want to see another ship that, what the heck is this? I don't remember this skin. Where's the skin from? What the heck is the skin? Hey, you doing okay? Battle honor? Okay, well, I can respect it. It's just kind of hitty. Kind of hitty. Let's just go with the classic. Does it come in black? Yes, it does come in a sexy color. Okay, Andrew Cunningham. I really like actually the mechanics of Gunfeeder at this point. So I think I'm gonna go Gunfeeder. Feels a little bit more responsive than the alternative. All right. The Thunderer. Just love the name. I'm gonna run an ad break. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really enjoy playing Battleships. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching Battleships. Macabre. Macabre? You want some more water? Please do not spill it. Please do not spill your water. Okay? Please do not spill it.
Awaiting instructions.
All stations, protect that target.
No. No. What are you doing? Stop playing with your water. Stop playing with it.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
Okay. So the Thunderer. Long ago, the Conqueror used to be able to equip 2 ammo sizes. I think the 406 that you can do now, or the 420, and then this 457. And they took that away and they created the Thunderer, and the Thunderer is basically an enhanced version of the Conqueror for the 457s. I think they removed them from the game, the Thunderer, and obviously they made it available again. But it's got a really good gun accuracy and reload on its main battery. I think it was released at the same time as the Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. I think one was, what, a coal ship or a steel ship? And then the other one was, man, I don't know how the Thunder was obtained. Maybe it was a coal ship. Yeah, it was a coal. So they removed this as a coal ship, which is so sad because, God, it's so good.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
torpedoes. Oh no.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Oh, deep water torpedoes.
Concentrate fire on the designated target. Target penetrated. Concentrate fire on the enemy warship. Acknowledged.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Everyone was playing it because it's really good. Yeah, you're gonna die. Yamato point blank.
That was a great move.
Trying to track. Oh, good tracking, Yamato. Man, we are dead in the water. Take care, Zorn. Always a pleasure.
Enemy battleship sighted. Enemy destroyer detected.
Do not let the enemy take the area.
Wow. 5 non-penetrating shells. Well, that's incredibly
Concentrate fire.
annoying. Yamato's going to fire on us. If he doesn't fire on us, he's missing a golden opportunity.
Torpedoes to port.
He only gets like 2 shells on us, 13,000 damage. Yamato's the battleship killer, what can I say? It's designed to kill me, so I need to kill it. Alright, cool. He dead. He dead. I mean, the Brits do take damage, but they're supposed to be able to recover it the best. That's the idea for the Brits. Plus, again, Yamato. Yamato is literally designed to kill me. No other ship class in the game is Yamato built to kill. Just me. Take a shot over the islands. Hopefully we can reach him and get a little chip damage. It's a long shot. Okay, we didn't do any damage. That sucks.
strategic target.
Nice.
Acknowledged.
No, I haven't played the Johnston.
Enemy battleship sighted. Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
I fat fingered that.
The ship is on fire. All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Hey Fabio,
Aircraft
good
gun
morning.
crews are on normal alert. Enemy severely damaged. The ship is on fire.
Oh, he's so low. Oh, I got the Trump.
Problem solved, sir. Torpedoes, dead ahead. Torpedoes to port.
All right. Well played, team. Well played. And we activated our 2 million. I think we've activated the 2 million potential damage in like 80% of our matches today, which is great. It really shows that if you play the battleship as a tank, it's pretty straightforward to get at least 2 million potential damage. Alright, so Thunder, cool. Schlieffen, Preußen, Grosser Kura first. I think I'm gonna play the Schlieffen. I really don't think that I want to use Gunther anymore on this, just because it doesn't make any sense. The battleship enhancement. Oh, nothing that I care about. Okay. So we'll use that commander for someone else. We won't waste it there. I just really like Gunfeeder. It just feels good. Having the ability to switch that quickly helps in some scenarios that the preventive maintenance just doesn't do. Alright, so this is going to end up being the final match for me. Thank you. I really like this skin. I'm just going to use this skin. I really enjoy having you guys check out the channel. Please make sure that you subscribe / follow the channel if you so desire. It's always a wonderful welcome to have people to talk about the game with. I'm over here on Twitch and on YouTube for the VOD if you missed any of the games and you want to check them out. That's pretty cool too. Obviously, I really appreciate the support. I want to try and get a... You spill it? Such a bag. I want to try and get my videos concentrated on certain aspects, like battleships, for example. So you look out for me producing that more in the future. Guess we'll run an ad break just because we're waiting in queue, and the ads help channel better than staring at a load screen. I wish that wargaming allowed you to customize your ships while you're waiting in queue. Go, 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 go. Oh, great. We get to play against an aircraft carrier. So much fun. Just what I always wanted. I really like this skin, man. It looks nice and clean.
Action stations. Awaiting instructions.
Stop pawing at your water. Wow, the S6 is a jerk.
Ship is on fire. Enemy force detected.
on fire.
Baby. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Dimitri.
Problem solved, sir.
We got an U-boat. There's an U-boat somewhere in tight with the Vermont. Careful. You're gonna fall off, kid. Why, hello there.
Torpedoes, direct front. Airborne. Torpedoes to starboard. Airborne. Our team has taken the lead. That's how it's done.
Did not expect that Hydro to be in range. Vermont had a good bearing and he could drop him like he was right in front of him. Hey, cutie.
Enemy destroyer detected. Enemy cruiser detected. Enemy battleship sighted.
Penetration.
2 citadels. Nice, nice, nice. A 3rd citadel by Salem, it looks like. Should be a kill, because Yoshino has no choice. Oh.
Our team has taken the lead. Problem solved, sir.
Nearly activated the second one. Excellent. Watch out, baby. Watch out! Why do you stand on my keyboard like it's nothing? Clearly something, otherwise you wouldn't be standing on something. Oh, crap. They're coming. They're going down. Ocean, I do not see how you get out of this one, friend. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Oh, shit. Oh, Ocean. I'm trying, I'm trying. Yeah, she's on the red team for sure. Got red all over her. She's like, let me stare at your face. That's normal, right? Normal if I stare at your face. And I want to stand on your keyboard, right? That's totally normal, right?
Our victory is in sight.
Oh, how somehow Ocean survived. All About Boats. Hey, yeah, he did, he released that one. It was a funny, close game. I'm glad you were able to see it. We are coming to the end of the stream. You know, the last couple of seconds before I put on some music and I play out. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really enjoyed talking to you guys about battleships, and the Columbo's ruining my outro. But I really enjoy playing battleships, talking about battleships, how to be better at battleships. I hopefully will be able to create a long form video at some point, but I just have been so busy with real life and otherwise. But thank you for tuning into the stream. If you missed any of the stream, you can always catch it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Notser, twitch.tv/Notser as well, or the stream itself. Yeah. I really appreciate you guys checking out the content, and hopefully it is enjoyable, and I also appreciate the feedback that I get either through YouTube or Twitch or otherwise. This is something that I do for fun, and I'm trying to pay for the expenses of creating it, and in doing so, hopefully the content will be higher quality because of that. That's the idea, of course. But yeah, it's been a good day. I definitely enjoy ships. I understand it probably has issues, but I can't really tell when I'm just playing random and hanging out with all of you. So, Schlieffen, sailing by that island. They were on bottom of our team. Wow. We got Dreadnought though. So he must have tanked a decent amount of damage for our team. So happy about that. But yeah, if I were to summarize the battleship lines, they are tank snipers. I personally play them as tanks first, and then all the other roles second. I pretty much go exclusively aiming system mod 1 in slot 3 because accuracy of the guns is so important. It's hard to argue against it, and yeah, it shows. I think we were either winning the games or we were tanking the games. The long games because of battleship health. So I'm happy about that. Got what I wanted. I might play more battleships or cruisers or whatever on the next stream, just because there's so many. Yeah. That's all I have to really say. I hope everyone's weekend continues to go well for them. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one, and I definitely enjoyed my time here today. Yes, indeed. Yep, GG, guys. Let's see. Alright. Take care. I'm gonna run an ad break, and then I'm gonna close the streams. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.